Welcome back to Church Media Pro. My name is Aaron Ward, and on this channel we talk about all things church media and production and advertising too. Today we're talking a little bit about more in the advertising realm. We're talking about podcasts. We're going to talk about how we take our videos from our live stream. I'm going to break them down in Premiere, and then we're going to take them into an application, a web application called Podbean that will distribute all of take your audio podcast and distribute it to all of the highly recommended places to post your podcast. And it's not that expensive, guys. I don't remember, I'm sorry, off the top of my head what the cost is, but we use it on a regular and it's getting us some great traction and people are rewatching our content constantly. Welcome back to Church Media Pro. My name is Aaron Ward, and on this channel we talk about all things church media, production, and advertising. And today we're sticking with our recent content focus on advertising in particular. We've been talking live stream with Rezi. We've been talking, we talked a little bit of email marketing and Facebook marketing, a little some back-end tips there. And then today we're talking about podcasts, and I've got a podcast ready to go. I'm going to set it up in Podbean, and Podbean is going to distribute it to all of your most popular podcast channels, guys. Apple, Amazon, Audible, and I believe Spotify is in there as well. And so Podbean is just a fantastic application, web application to help you distribute your podcast very, very easily. In fact, you could have a volunteer do this. It's so easy, and as long as they have the login and a graphic and the audio from your service, they could jump into GarageBand if they had it on their Mac or some sort of similar, possibly a free application you could download, cut ins and outs. Maybe you provide them with a pre-recorded promo, and we like to put in a little bit of music on the front end to intro, to just get a little bit of recognition and make sure people know that they're on the correct podcast. But then at the end, we like to mention our website, we like to mention our social media and these sorts of things. So let me show you in how Podbean works here. I've already grabbed my previous services audio. I've taken my live stream. I'm not going to break down how I do that. I use Premiere Pro just because it's already a video file from our church. Maybe you record separate audio. That'll be easier for your volunteers if you're using volunteers to do that. And I do pre-record using my YouTube setup. Actually, I pre-record a couple of intros and outros sometimes, and I try to vary it occasionally so that we give our audience a little bit of a heads up of what's going on. Possibly, I've mentioned upcoming events in our podcast. It's a great way to get people to check out your website, to check out, to just have a jumping off platform for the next thing. So in Podbean, you get some great analytics on your podcast. You get some achievement kind of badges, which is cool. It kind of helps you show your leadership how well the podcast is doing. I think this time of year, it's early January, mid-January. You kind of get a lull a little bit in your analytics, but overall, we've gotten 75,000 plays back, which is fantastic. 1,500 in the last 30 days, which I think is just phenomenal. And we've got our last 5 here. You can do some more analytics. I'm not going to spend too much time on that, guys. So let me jump into how you export here. It's super simple. Go to your episode list. You go to new episode. Sorry, my internet's a little bit slow today. I'm not sure why. Pardon me. All right, so I hit the button to go to new list. We're going to choose a file from upload, or to upload rather. I'm going to go to my folder here that I have all my stuff in, Eternity Podcasts. I'm going to go to exports. I'm going to go to the most recent, which is the 9th here, and then I'm going to upload this. I'm going to say open. You can drag and drop your files into, which is nice. Well, that's going to take a minute. Let me go into what we do from a distribution standpoint. So You can add it to a podcast website, which is cool. We've skipped that entirely. We've gone to the podcast apps, and this is where you connect your different podcast apps. So everything that's green checked is connected, guys. So Apple Podcast, should be the top of the list. Should be the top of your list as well. Google Podcasts, Podbean app, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Audible. We haven't set Pandora up yet. Not a lot of people are using that anymore. Alexa is tune in, so they definitely want to do that one because there's a lot of Alexa users out there. And Alexa heard me from the background. That's hilarious. So, and then you can also social share. We don't do this because we have a social media manager that likes to take the podcast from me and put the social graphics directly into a social media scheduling app, and so she will schedule all those things for me. But you can do it automatically if you don't have a social media manager, which is fantastic. Goes to Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. That's the interesting thing. If you're not already broadcasting to YouTube, it's really easy to upload the audio at least, and just have a graphic be your video portion of the in the YouTube, so that people can listen to through the YouTube app very easily. Tumblr and WordPress, could be useful for you, but in general, these top four, especially Facebook and YouTube and possibly Twitter. We haven't done Twitter yet. I might actually do that at some point in the future because our social media manager does not directly post to Twitter. And then you can also do an embed player, which is cool, and you can take the copy and put it into your website if you wanted to. In fact, that's something I might look into personally. Take your episodes and go to the new episode tab. These are all of ours. You can edit if you want to in here. Let me go to new episodes again and see if my audio has downloaded from the cloud. So this one right here. Perfect. These are downloaded now. So I can open and then show you kind of what this looks like in here. So you title it, and then I believe this one was titled, what was it called? Restoration. And then you can, I'm going to go over to Apple Podcasts. I'm going to open up a previous, actually have this one, to be honest, I've actually posted this one already because I post them on Mondays. But you can copy and paste your information in. You can put some information, how to, you can add a link to your website, which is cool. So I'm going to do that right now. Just save, add that in there, and then you can choose your image, and this is where it's nice to have a graphic designer. But if you have any sermon graphics from the weekend, you could pop that in here. You can edit it, which is really super nice on the inside of this editor here that pops up. This is very similar to something you would see in WordPress or a plugin or Squarespace. So it's super user friendly for those of you who are web developers or even just simple users of things like Squarespace. But I'm going to skip and upload because I already know it's the correct size. And then so the image will show up here in a second when it uploads entirely. And then you would hit publish now. I've already published this, so I'm not going to do that. But within about an hour or less, you should have your new podcast set up for every single one of your destinations, guys. And again, make sure that you set up your destinations beforehand. Apple Podcasts does take a little bit of time to get approved, and some of the others are faster. I believe the fastest is probably Spotify. Podbean obviously is the fastest one of all of them. There's not a lot of hoops to jump through, but make sure you set up all of these and in advance before you publish your first. Maybe you publish your first one and then add some destinations as well. I do think it pushes once you've uploaded these. So then you can get them in all of your favorite podcast apps. And then definitely hit social media with all of your podcasts so that people know that they can find them, and you'll get some subscribers, guys. So with that, that's all I've got for you today. Make sure you set up a podcast if you're not doing it already. There's just a lot of people out there listening in their car, listening, in their free time at work. Thank you so much for watching Church Media Pro. This episode has been brought to you by Friedrichs Coffee. If you are into coffee and church media production, which I know a lot of you are, if you live in the continental United States, I highly recommend going over to friedrichscoffee.com. Pick yourself up a bag of roasted to order coffee beans. You can get them ground, or you're going to get them whole bean for your own grinder at home or at your church, guys. I highly recommend going over there to help support this channel. I am an affiliate with them, and they do. They're actually a client of mine on the marketing side, and in fact, the owners go to our church, and it's a great relationship, guys. So head over there. If you want free shipping at checkout, use code FREESHIPUSA. That's FREESHIPUSA at checkout, as long as you're in the continental United States. And we are in the Midwest, guys, so shipping is really quick. And roasted order means that your beans are roasted the day that they're sent out on the truck. They don't sit on a shelf for days or even weeks before they send out. No, we roast them the day that they get shipped. So you might order on a Saturday. The first roast day after Saturday is on Tuesday, and on Tuesday they will get roasted and shipped directly to you that day. And if you're in the Midwest, it's overnight. If you're on the coast, guys, it's up to 2 to 3 days, but no more than that. And we cover the entire United States. So anyway, thanks again for watching, and God bless you.